Hello and welcome to The Curators, episode 108, the weekly podcast and YouTube series where I discuss cool game and game-related crowd-funded projects from the Gamerati curated Kickstarter page, which you can find at kickstarter.com/Gamerati. I'm Marcelo, and this show is transmitted as a podcast that you can find just looking for The Curators on wherever you subscribe to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. And a video version of our episodes are at youtube.com/Gamerati. I have two British Kickstarter projects for you today. The first project is Last Fleet, an RPG of action, intrigue, and drama as the last of humanity flees across space from a merciless, inhuman force. It's being crowdfunded by Black Armada, or Josh Fox and Becky Annison from Chesterfield, UK. They are already veterans in this Kickstarter business. Let's see here. They have designed Flotsam, Adrift Amongst the Stars. They have designed Bite Marks and many smaller games. Let's see, they're publishing as Black Armada. We have been role-playing together for over 15 years, they say here. We came up through D&D, Shadowrun, and Ember. But in recent years, we've spent most of our time with indie RPGs and freeform. So yeah, two very good people to make a intense RPG. Let's see how intense. Black Fleet is a tabletop RPG where each player takes on the role of pilots, officers, engineers, politicians, or journalists struggling to hold the human race and themselves together under unbelievable pressure. What's that terrible threat? Well, humanity had already spread through the galaxy, and we are in a union. We were in a union, the Interplanetary Commonwealth. Then we made contact with the Curators, an extra-dimensional fungus network that dwells in Tenebrium, which is the same medium that allows humans to travel faster than light. So it was kind of inevitable that one day they would notice us. And they did. Those terrible aliens attack by creating spatial rifts, launching spore ships to harry the human fleet. Victims of the Corax are paralyzed and have their genetic and their neural patterns harvested. Everything you know, now the Corax know. And worse, your former friends may see you again, this time reincarnated as a Corax avatar. So there's a slight element of horror there too. Lost Fleet focuses on action, intrigue, and drama in a high-stakes situation. You fight space battles, you search for enemy infiltrators, you'll tackle supply shortages, and even navigate faction politics. There's something here for everyone. The game is powered by the Apocalypse. That means that it uses a simple 2d6-based system with prompts for interesting and for dramatic outcomes from every roll. Characters are organized into playbooks that provide everything you need on a single piece of paper. And the GM advice is codified into clear principles that tell you not just how the mechanics work, but how to get the best out of the game. There are downloads for that on the Kickstarter page, so you can see how well it's done and how easy it is to run a game of Lost Fleet. An important theme of the game is pressure. Pressure on your characters, pressure on the fleet, pressure on humanity. You can win almost any conflict if you're willing to pay the consequences by racking up more pressure on your character that ultimately pushes them to breaking point, which is a mechanic on the game. That's when your character goes off the rails, lashing out at their friends or hurling themselves into certain doom. The only way to keep the pressure under control is by indulging your vices and risking losing control, or by building relationships that matter with other characters. Neither route is risk-free, so when you're not putting your life on the line, you're putting your heart on the line. As I said, there are downloads on the Kickstarter page, so you can try the game. There are reference sheets and playbooks, and if you are already backing the project, you can get the updated full draft of the book. So let's see here. The Kickstarter, it's already successful. It's already twice over what they needed, with more than 500 backers. And the project goes all the way to the 31st of January, which is a Friday. For $1, you get the draft and access to the updates. For $10, you get the PDF. For $10, no, sorry, for £10, because it's a British project, which is what, $14 US? You get a PDF. For £20, you get the hardcover plus the PDF. For £30, you get a signed hardcover and also the PDF version. £40, you get the deluxe edition, which is a fancy version of the book with spot UV and marker ribbons with bookplate signed by Josh Fox. Shipping will be charged after campaign ends. Wow, this is the best book. For £100, you get the Join the Fleet pledge. That's $132 US. You get the deluxe rule book and PDF. Plus, tell me a ship you'd like to see in the game, and I or one of my stretch goal writers will work it into a setting or scenario for the game. Ships must be appropriate to the game and are subject to my editorial discretion. That's cool. £150. It's the deluxe rulebook PDF, plus send us headshots of yourself or a friend, and our artists will immortalize them as a character in one of the game illustrations. Cool. Alright, so that's Last Fleet RPG by Black Armada. You have until the 31st of January to back it. There's a lot of pledge levels here that you can choose anyone you prefer. Next game is a one-shot mystery adventure inspired by H.P. Lovecraft. Yeah, that's the name of the project. It's a fantasy adventure for D&D, actually called What Happened to Evy Ashwood. The project consists of the adventure itself, the Great Old One's compendium, and specifically designed character sheets with Lovecraftian themes. So the Kickstarter is a one-shot mystery adventure inspired by H.P. Lovecraft, but the adventure itself that you're gonna get is What Happened to Evy Ashwood. Cool? Cool. What Happened to Evy Ashwood is a mystery adventure, and it is intended for a party of 3 to 5 6th level characters of D&D 5th edition. The Great Old One Compendium will contain Cthulhu-inspired magical items, lore, spells, curses, and a lot more. The premise goes like this. A former student from the Academy of Alchemy is missing. Her name is Evy Ashwood, and she lives outside Winterhold in an old watchtower, but no one has seen her for over a week, and her uncle is worried. So the adventurers are hired by him to travel to the tower and find out what happened to her. But be warned, for the journey may be filled with danger, and so is the tower, filled with danger and weirdness. It's a Lovecraft-inspired adventure after all. What you get? You get a classic mystery adventure inspired by the works of H.P. Lovecraft. You get one new monster called the Nameless Creation. That's so much Lovecraft. You get a unique magical item, the Book of the Unknown, which is a legendary artifact. You get detailed NPCs and a collection of small and incredibly smart cats with background description, agendas, and secrets. Cats. Lovecraftian adventure with cats. That's gonna be horrible. There's also a section of legends and lore. The Cats in the Tower. See, there are cats in the tower. And more than 30 original high-quality color illustrations and artworks. These seems unnecessary, but I think it's very important, especially to me as a GM more often. The existence of cool, varied, and constant artwork on any adventure just makes me feel the adventure better and convey that to the players better. I love adventures with a lot of illustrations, and those here will come. It's a 60-page book, and with 30 original high-quality color illustrations. So it's a lot of illustrations. And also, the adventure will come with detailed high-resolution maps like this. The maps will be made available as downloadable JPEGs for print and for your virtual tabletop if you use it, with square grids or hexagon grids or without grids, and a printer-friendly version of every one of the maps. So, and the printed copies will be approximately the size of a sheet of paper, 8.5 by 11 inches, and will be available in softcover and the hardcover versions of the Kickstarter. They already piled through a bunch of their stretch goals. I believe they were financed in 1 hour. It's I didn't say who is making this. I'm sorry. It's being made by Midnight Tower from Oxford in the United Kingdom. Let's see here. They are gearing up for the 8th, I believe, 8th stretch goal. Where is it? Here. So they already have unlocked new cursed items, coats, servants of the void, Lovecraftian inventory sheets, professional commission maps, nefarious villains, monsters from the abyss, secret societies, Lovecraftian spell sheets, and they are about to unlock scalable encounters from tier 1 to 4. Let's see what's the pledge levels here. For $1, you just support them. You get to see the updates. For £3, I said dollars. It's £1 or $2. For £3 or $4 US, you get the digital copy for low-income people. For $6, if you have the money, you should pledge for £6 or $8, in which you get the regular digital copy. Then there is the £12 or $16, you get the printed softcover version plus the PDF. Delivery estimated in March 2020. And for £15, you get the printed hardcover version plus the PDF, which is the one I'm at. Let's see, includes the following products: Adventure, What Happened to Evy Ashwood, The Great Old Ones continued, specially designed character sheets with a Lovecraftian team. You get a special mention in the adventure. Ha ha ha. What else? It's interesting that both Kickstarters I'm talking today, they're both from England and both have low income options, which is it's a good thing for me, for example, because I think £1 is more than 5 Brazilian reals, which would mean that for me to be part of those projects, it would be very expensive. So I like the idea of them having people for low income. Cool, very cool. All right, what else we have here? I think I covered everything. That's it for another episode of The Curators. You can find our curated page, the only one exclusively about tabletop games, at kickstarter.com/Gimerati. You can also email us at thecurators@gimerati.com. Tell me if you liked the projects I commented today and if you're backing any of them. The show notes for this episode and all our episodes are at thecurators.gimerati.com, where you can watch the video version or listen and subscribe to the podcast at the same time, at the same place. The Curators can be found on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and Spotify. And that's it for me. Catch you up next time. I need to fix those lights. It's too dark in here. Next week I'll do that.